Hello. I felt inclined to do this topic. This topic is basically why a lot of people have short patience or patience with African Americans. Um, my ideology is why a lot of people have so much lack of patience for African Americans because since we have been in the United States, we have not had a fair opportunity. So, for several generations and hundreds of years, we have been portrayed and painted to other people as monsters. I did a video on how people in other countries look at African Americans because of how the media portrays us. So, to make a long story short, I would like to say the portrayal of how we are portrayed is the reason why. Not because of what we actually do, because the select few of us who do certain things that are not good, it's amplified, it's put out there. The good stuff that's being done is not being shown to the point where it outweighs the bad that's being shown. He who controls minds controls images. So if somebody controlling the images of what you see, then eventually, if you're not strong-minded and you can easily be brainwashed, you're gonna start developing those characteristics, behaviors, and ideas and ideologies. But whenever you don't look at television and you start getting out there in the world and having that leap of faith and dealing with different people of all nationalities, religions, and cultures, you will start seeing people in a common way, which is human beings. You won't look at them in categories like that. So I think that African Americans, we are looked at the way that we are because from the beginning we were already labeled, and it's hard to break that label. Look at all the pain that our ancestors had to endure and the pain that we still have to endure. People can try to sugarcoat it and say, oh, we don't have to deal with things like that. It's not harder for us. It is. We have to strive more than anybody else. We have to strive way more. And if you don't think that, or if you don't see that, then God has blessed you to put you in a situation where your paradigm is different. But from what I see, and from the people I talk to, they know that our opportunities are different. We have been thrown a monkey wrench. You know what I'm saying? We've been thrown a monkey wrench in our lives since day one. So people just don't have patience because they're not trying to chance stuff. They're not trying to involve themselves in anything that they don't have to be in. Really, people don't have patience out here in the world. So as if you already have a preconceived notion about somebody and something happens, that's gonna automatically make you result to thinking back to how you were. So what I would say is, as African Americans, we need to continue to go to school. We need to continue to be entrepreneurs. We need to continue to break the cycles by getting education, leadership positions. We can do this. We can over time change the perception of how we're looked at. It's a lot of white people or other nationalities that I have came across that were very good people. I've had a lot of Caucasians help me. I've had a lot throughout my years. When I was in school, I worked with my teachers were police chiefs and everything else like that. He was a very upstanding older man. He was about 80 years old. But he told me one day, because my grades were very good, I was a straight A student. And he told me when I came to class one day, I was bad about being late because I had a lot of stuff going on. And honestly, they were supposed to fail you based upon your absence. And one day I talked to him, I said, look, I know I'm tardy, I'm over on my days. He was like, look, you're an upstanding student, you're a straight A student. I'm not going to get in the way of your success in your life because of absences. I don't want anything to do with that. When he said it, it just tickled me. But he saw who I was on the inside. And even though he was, 70 something or 80 something years old, he loved me to death and I loved him too, Mr. Bidwell. But I appreciate y'all for viewing. Everybody's not like that. It's an exception to every rule, but you could just feel it off of you. You could feel, the fear or the hate whenever you come across certain people. You know what I'm saying? You can see it in their eyes. You can see it by how they deal with you. But we must understand that, like I said, we have, we've been labeled from day one. So we have to break that label, and we have to break that cycle by doing the opposite of bad. And that's good. Keep doing good. Keep showing that we are somebody. Like I told y'all before, it was a woman, an older white woman in her 70s. One day she looked at me, she's like, "How do you have two cars? How? How does anybody have two cars?" So we have to change those perceptions, and we have to change those views. I appreciate y'all for viewing. No racism over here. It's just speaking the truth, speaking facts. You know what I'm saying? So I'll talk to y'all later.